Good morning, everybody. Welcome to today's devotion for January 16th. Today's devotion is titled, Bring What You Have. And the Bible reading is from John chapter 6, verses 4 to 14. It was nearly time for the Jewish Passover celebration. Jesus soon saw a huge crowd of people coming to look for him. Turning to Philip, he asked, "Where can we buy bread to feed all these people?" He was testing Philip, for he already knew what he was going to do. Philip replied, "Even if we worked for months, we wouldn't have enough money to feed them." Then Andrew, Simon Peter's brother, spoke up. "There's a young boy here with 5 barley loaves and 2 fish. But what good is that with this huge crowd?" "Tell everyone to sit down," Jesus said. So they all sat down on the grassy slopes. The men alone numbered about 5,000. Then Jesus took the loaves, gave thanks to God, and distributed them to the people. Afterward, he did the same with the fish, and they all ate as much as they wanted. After everyone was full, Jesus told his disciples, "Now gather the leftovers so that nothing is wasted." So they picked up the pieces and filled 12 baskets with scraps left by the people who had eaten from the 5 barley loaves. When the people saw him do this miraculous sign, they exclaimed, "Surely he is the prophet we have been expecting." Stone soup. An old tale with many versions tells of a starving man who comes to a village, but no one there can spare a crumb of food for him. He puts a stone and water in a pot over a fire. Intrigued, the villagers watch him as he begins to stir his soup. Eventually, one brings a couple of potatoes to add to the mix. Another has a few carrots. One person adds an onion, another a handful of barley. A farmer donates some milk. Eventually, the stone soup becomes a tasty chowder. That tale illustrates the value of sharing, but it also reminds us to bring what we have, even when it seems to be insignificant. In John chapter 6, verses 1 to 14, we read of a boy who appears to be the only person in a huge crowd who thought about bringing some food. Christ's disciples had little use for the boy's sparse lunch of 5 loaves and 2 fish. But when it was surrendered, Jesus increased it and fed thousands of hungry people. I once heard someone say, "You don't have to feed the 5,000. You just have to bring your loaves and fish." Just as Jesus took one person's meal and multiplied it far beyond anyone's expectations or imagination, he'll accept our surrendered efforts, talents, and service. He just wants us to be willing to bring what we have to him. What have you been holding back from God? Why is it difficult to bring that area of your life to him? Thank you for joining me for today's devotion, and I hope you all have a wonderful day.